She smiled in public, but in private, she was a shadow moving in the dark, watching every move Traoré made. She was not just a mother-in-law, she was an asset. A hidden link to forces that feared Traoré's rise. Behind her kind voice lived a venomous mission. Foreign agents knew they couldn't control him through war or politics, so they went for the heart, the family. She was the gateway. The weakness. The soft target they turned into a weapon. While Traoré was rising through the ranks, she was gathering whispers, feeding names, locations, and strategies to outsiders. She played both sides with a devilish calm, shaking hands with men in suits by day and cooking for her daughter's husband by night. Her loyalty wasn't to blood. It was to power. To money. To the same interests that had drained Africa for decades. She was not just working for them. She believed in their plan that Africa should stay quiet, small, controlled. She saw Traoré's passion as dangerous, his ideas as a threat to the system that fed her. She didn't see a patriot in him. She saw a bomb waiting to explode. So she took the role. The infiltrator. The trusted one. The one no one would suspect. While Traoré built his movement in the daylight, she moved in silence, feeding intelligence into the hands of men who feared African freedom. And they rewarded her. Not with gold or land but with the illusion of control. Her phone was untraceable. Her messages encrypted. She never said his name out loud in those conversations, but they all knew who she meant when she said, "The fire is spreading." They told her to calm the fire or burn it out. And she agreed. She smiled when he entered her home, but her thoughts were filled with tactics. She was patient. Calculated. Deadly. A master of pretending. She warned her contacts that Traoré wasn't just another idealist, he was different. He had vision, yes, but he had something more dangerous, momentum. The people followed him not out of fear, but belief. And that terrified them. She suggested discrediting him. It failed. She tried to turn his wife against him, failed. So the final plan was death, silent and clean. A meal. A cup. A sudden collapse. The motherly touch turned fatal. This wasn't a random betrayal. This was a deep, strategic, foreign-directed mission from within. She was the enemy wearing the skin of family. She was proof that colonization didn't just leave armies, it left roots, seeds of control buried in our homes. And while Traoré spoke of independence and revolution, she was reporting his every step, every speech, every gathering, to men who called him a threat to order. Her loyalty was bought, her silence paid for in betrayal. She didn't need a gun to try and end him. She only needed access. And trust. And she had both. From the moment she first saw him, her eyes didn't soften, they sharpened. There was no warmth in her gaze, only cold calculation. She didn't welcome him into the family, she studied him like a threat entering her fortress. She never saw a husband, she saw a problem wrapped in military boots and ambition. While others smiled at his charm and discipline, she saw rebellion waiting to erupt. She didn't trust his silence, because behind it, she sensed storms he hadn't yet unleashed. Every time he spoke about justice, her heart tightened with suspicion. His ideals weren't just strong, they were dangerous to her comfort. She didn't believe in revolutions, she believed in survival. And men like him didn't survive, they broke the system or got broken by it. She didn't fear him because of what he did, she feared what he might inspire. She saw the look in his eyes like he'd already tasted war and wasn't afraid to go back. She watched how people followed him, not because they were ordered to, but because they believed. That terrified her. She couldn't understand belief that deep, that raw. She mistook his loyalty to the people for arrogance. His courage looked like madness to her. He wasn't like the men she was used to, obedient, soft-spoken, easy to manipulate. He didn't need permission to speak truth, and he didn't lower his voice to make others comfortable. He walked like a soldier but moved like a storm. She questioned his motives in whispers, planting doubt in those around her. She said he was hiding something, that no man is that quiet without reason. She called him a firebrand masked as a gentleman. She didn't see love when he looked at her daughter, she saw distraction. She thought he would choose power over family, and she hated that he could do both. She couldn't control him, and that alone made him dangerous. Every dinner became a silent interrogation. Every gesture he made, she overanalyzed. He shook hands with politicians, but she believed he shook hands with demons. She said no one rises that fast without blood on their hands. She ignored his humility and focused only on his fire. She dismissed his sacrifice and clung to her fear. She believed his love for the people would one day turn into vengeance. She feared he'd lead her daughter into the heart of chaos. She never gave him a real chance, because her mind was already poisoned by fear. Not fear of him harming the famstade, she never let her guard down. To her, he was the storm she prayed would never come. But deep inside, she knew storms don't ask for permission. But fear of what his rise meant for the powers she quietly respected. She believed in structure, in silence, in submission. He represented the opposite: resistance, voice, uprising. And no matter how calm he